Hello to the curious and the thoughtful. It's Ellie here. Nice to see you again. Um, so why is it that we love to see certain people fall or fail? Whether it's celebrities or those horrible fat caddy type of people, or maybe certain political parties. I don't know. It kind of is something that goes viral faster than anything. This applause for the failure and falling of certain people. There's actually a wonderful German term out there that I love saying because it's fun. Schadenfreude. Actually, I think the way it's pronounced correctly is Schadenfreude with a little at the end, but I just say Schadenfreude. And today that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about what Schadenfreude is, how it works, and how to rise in life without needing somebody else to fall. The German word Schadenfreude actually literally means harm joy. It's the guilty pleasure that we feel when somebody else stumbles. Certain people, the ones we don't care for too much. It's a universal emotion that links to things like rivalry, envy, and our sense of justice or our need for justice. And it's being amplified by social media all of the time. It feels like justice. It's a kind of a satisfaction that we feel when someone that we dislike gets what they deserve. It also feels like rivalry. If there's a competitor or an adversary out there, when they lose, it makes us kind of feel like we've won. And it also feels like aggression or tribalism. It feeds into this whole us versus them thing. And it means that our group enjoys it when them suffer because it reinforces the identity or the group identity of us. It also links to other kinds of emotions as well. So envy really hurts when other people succeed, but Schadenfreude gives us pleasure when those people fail. And sometimes people with low self-esteem, they tend to feel Schadenfreude more intensely than the average person because other people's failures kind of feel like it's their victory in some way. It's personal. It helps to prop them up a little bit in the moment. It also occurs when empathy is absent. So Schadenfreude often will be part of the environment psychologically when we begin dehumanizing people and othering them. When we start to dehumanize a person by giving them nicknames, for example, regardless of who they are, then we're exhibiting that loss of empathy, which then has side effects that actually go far beyond us as individuals. So, for example, I recently mentioned a memorable passage by the philosopher and mystic Neville Goddard, who lived in the earlier part of the 20th century. Neville talked about how our priorities are manifesting as the world that we live in. So it's an exact manifestation that appears in Schadenfreude. When we indulge in the collapse kind of culture, the whole of humanity starts to kind of shrink in size and stay small and distracted. And we become kind of complicit in the holding back of our fellow people. The whole of humanity and our collective. And so I thought that I'd create a few memes. And here's one that I created relating to this particular concept by Neville Goddard. My words, but based on his words. And this one says, the energy that we spend on hate is borrowed from the love that could be remaking the world. It might make us feel vindicated in the moment, and it certainly does drive algorithms, but it's not good for us collectively in the long term. Here's another meme that I created, and this one goes, every time we clap at someone else's collapse, we are voting for a cynical world. I'm kind of loving memes right now, so you'll have to forgive me. It was the whole monkey philosophy thing that got me started. And one of the things I love about memes is they get to the point, which I sometimes have trouble getting to. So Maybe I should just channel all of my thoughts into memes. So Schadenfreude is all about our shadow self. So, it's borrowing from Carl Jung. And when we celebrate another person's downfall, we are really expressing our own envy or our self-esteem issues or the lack of empathy that we might possess. And maybe it could even be a little bit of all three at the same time. So here is a really simple trick to instantly shift to our higher self, because that's what ascending and transcending our current world is all about. It's all about tapping into that higher perspective and that higher self. When I see a downfall of someone taking place, a headline maybe, even if that person is on my yucky list, right? I'm not too keen on them because, I don't have to love everybody all of the time. What I do is I think to myself, their collapse is not my rise. My rise is my rise. It's what I contribute that elevates me, not what happens to the other person. Schadenfreude's components of envy, hunger for justice, dehumanization of the other, these are all kind of hate factors, and they decay the concept of love. So I thought a decaying heart was a nice way to demonstrate the impact of unresolved Schadenfreude. This is my love versus hate meme appearing with its visual kind of prompt, and of course the impact that cynicism has on our reality and our future also, and the world that we're going to live in the future if we don't stop that cynical view of things. So here is my visual counterpart to go with my empathy theme relating to cynicism and tomorrow's world. The collapse of other people is not our rise. My rise is my rise. If this episode spoke to you, there are more just like it in the playlist that you should be seeing above here. Welcome to the new world. This is Ellie Dreams Down Under. I love knowing you're here, and I'll see you in my dreams.